Have you ever found that body image gets in the way of your connection with other people?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when I was younger, because I didn't know what was okay, what was not okay, that and obviously I've always been chubby, so surrounded by people that I felt that wasn't their preference.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to. I think a lot of it was my insecurity, and so that showed. And so people would see that and go, well, I don't want to talk to her because she's like all like, I think confidence is what's attractive. And since I wasn't confident in myself, it's very difficult for people to see that.
Yes. We kind of hide ourselves behind the shame.
Yeah. So, and how about you?
Definitely. My own insecurities got in the way for years.
Yeah.
So this is Kelly Shabari from theprismgroup.com.
Yep.
And Kelly Shabari
XXX.com.
And this is Cathy Bartoli from the intimacydojo.com. And we're talking about body image today because I think so many people get stuck behind that.
Yeah, and we actually had a very interesting evening because I broke your virginity by going to the Korean spa. And the interesting thing about the Korean spa is that you aren't allowed to wear a swimsuit. So you have to be naked the whole time. So it's actually this, and I've done this with like other people who weren't quite so comfortable being naked around other people. And obviously, Cathy, you are very comfortable these days.
I've worked through a lot of stuff there.
And so we were able to like lounge back and go, hey, we're a couple of chubby chicks hanging out in the tub. But I think that I've taken people that are not that comfortable being completely naked to the Korean spa with me, and they've been, after like an hour, they're kind of like, this thing happens where they're like, whoa, everybody looks different. So there is no like one true perception of beauty, like once the makeup comes off and once the hair gets frizzy like ours is from after going to the spa, because it's like super soft, but it's like it's not like blow dried and styled, and obviously no makeup. I think that you develop an awareness of how everybody is naturally around you, and I think once you understand that everybody's built differently, and even skinny people have cellulite, it makes you not critique yourself quite so harshly.
And there's a certain acceptance with being yourself, being naked, and other people being naked. It's really beautiful. Yeah,
and I think that once you stop beating yourself up because you realize that everybody else has flaws too, I think then you become more confident, and so then when somebody comes up to you and says, oh, you're really pretty, you can actually genuinely just say, thank you, as opposed to saying no, which was like my response always.
Yes.
People, like even my first couple of years in the adult business, which is what I'm in, people would say, wow, you're so pretty. And I'd be like, well, make all these like bazillion excuses like, hey, look, I have a zit, or my face is blotchy, or my hair is frizzy, or have all these excuses. And now I just say thank you. And I think that that's a very valuable lesson.
What's interesting to me is I do life coaching and I work with a lot of people that are very slender. And I remember when I was 10, I was like 115 pounds, and I remember feeling like I was so fat.
I have never been 115 pounds. I think I was 7 when I was 117 pounds. In college, I used to go to the gym like 6 days a week because it was between where the classes were, and I had to go through the quad, and that's where the gym was to get to the dorms. And so I just liked going to the gym, and so I would go and spend 2-3 hours there, like 5-6 days a week. But I think at the lowest weight I ever got, I think I was still like 170.
Yeah.
So I've always been a bigger girl, and I've also, if I really think back, I've never had a burning desire or a need for boyfriends because I always had guys around. So obviously, people thought that I was attractive, but I didn't see myself that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a lot more about, it's not about the numbers of the scale, it's how much shame we have about who we are. So I have friends that are size 2, and they think
they still beat themselves up. Yep.
They won't be seen in a bikini, never mind naked in this Korean spa.
So like when people come out with what I think it's called a fat kini, it's like, chubby girls wearing a bikini, like they completely own the fact that they're wearing a 2-piece bathing suit, and they're not trying to hide underneath a swimsuit that's got like, slimming panels and pushing up places.
And padded
here and shrinking you there. you know, how are you going to feel, how in the world are you going to wear something like that and actually feel comfortable enough to have fun?
Yeah.
You know, like, why not just let it hang out?
Just be yourself. So I encourage you to look in yourself and see, where are you hiding? What shames, what secrets do you have? It may not be weight. It might be that you don't think you have enough hair on your head, or your teeth are crooked. But we all have our stuff.
Yeah.
And we all use it as an excuse not to get out there and have a good time.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of, you know, the thing that makes you different is what makes you interesting. You know, I'm a huge fan of that. So if you're somebody who has a lazy eye, you know, if you're somebody that has crooked teeth, you know, I mean, if you want to get braces, get braces. I mean, I obviously had a retainer, so I know what that feels like. But you know, if you know, oh, here's a perfect example, is my guy Tim has what he has affectionately decided to call Mongolian toe.
Oh.
He had ingrown toenails, like his big toe. Like his big toe would cut in and grow really hard, very, very painful. So one day when he was younger, he just decided to have them removed.
Oh, wow.
So his two big toes have no toenails.
Wow.
Which would be bizarre, right? And most people would go, okay, that's kind of weird and deformed and kind of gross. But he's decided to own it, and he's calling it Mongolian toe, and he makes fun of it. And in a weird way, it works for him, and because he owns it, you know. And in a very funny kind of side note, that's how we discovered that he actually likes to have his toes sucked. And I don't mind sucking on those toes because there's no toenail there, so nothing gets cut. So those these little things that you just realize that what you might think would be a deformity or something bizarre or something that you think that the general public might not like actually makes you more interesting.
Yeah, so start claiming yourself.
Yeah, totally own it. I think it's really, really important. The more you own it, the more people can't make fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come back, we'll have more videos.
Yep, absolutely.